Hi guys, Shadi again from Image One, and we have today a special guest. That's Jared from Sigma. He has, as you see, the full line, and you can leave him for a few seconds to talk about his product.
Sure. Thanks, Shadi. So Sigma about 5 years ago announced that they wanted to re-engineer their entire line and come out with the highest quality lenses possible, but at a reasonably low price. And they delivered. What I have today are most of our popular lenses. I have some from our contemporary line, which are the lightweight compact lenses. I have a number of our art series lenses, and then some of our sports series lenses. Typically people ask me, why would you buy a Sigma over any other brand? And when people purchase a Sigma lens versus any other manufacturer, it's usually for one of three reasons. Either one, we have lenses that are comparable to other manufacturers but come in at a much lower price. We have quite a few lenses that actually outperform lenses from other manufacturers and still come in at a lower price. And then the third reason is that we have lenses that other manufacturers just aren't making. Sigma, not only being a manufacturer of high quality products, is also a very innovative company and have come out with a number of lenses that nobody's ever seen before. For instance, our 18 to 35 1.8, our 50 millimeter to 100 millimeter 1.8 extremely fast zooms, as well as some spherical and rectilinear lenses.
Maybe we can do a couple of questions if you don't mind. A lot of people ask me, does Sigma only make lenses?
Sigma is mainly known as a lens manufacturer, but we do make a few cameras using the Foveon technology, which is proprietary to the Sigma cameras. Foveon sensors versus your normal Bayer sensors are different in the fact that on a normal Bayer sensor, if you have an area of 4 pixels, 2 of them will be green, 1 will be red, and 1 will be blue. And what the camera or the software does is interpolate all that information and gives you the color value for that area. The Foveon sensor, however, is based more on film technology, and it's a layered sensor. So every pixel well is taking in the red information on the bottom, the blue information in the middle, the green on top. And that way there's no interpolation because every single pixel has all the color value that you need. So you have true color fidelity and super high resolution. You get file sizes that are going to rival that of medium format cameras.
I know you talk about cameras, but I know you guys make flashes, and we have something here at Image One that we're actually very proud to have, and it's an amazing product, is your filters, Sigma filters. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can tell us a little about the flashes, but a little bit more about your filters.
We do make some flashes, but with so many third-party flashes on the market now, and people getting not using flash as much as they used to, we don't push those as much, but we do have some very nice flashes that we make for Canon, Nikon, and our own Sigma system. The filters, we're using the same glass that we use in our art lenses, so they're very, very clear. There's no flaring, no ghosting, and we actually have a pretty amazing state-of-the-art filter is our ceramic protectors. These filters are actually 10 times stronger than Gorilla Glass. They're almost indestructible.
Some of your filters will say WR, which is weather resistant, or WR?
Weather resistant. Those are going to have a coating that's going to be oil and water repellent. So the water just kind of beads up, and it's easy. You can just wipe it off with any kind of fabric. You don't necessarily need to have some sort of a lens cleaner.
We saw some of you talked about your 18 to 35 1.8. You are truly right about it. It's nobody done this before, and we see a lot of people with GH5 Mark IV thirds, and some of the Canon users are buying adapters to use them, on their cameras, even like Canon lens mount on a Sony camera, on a GH5, which is Panasonic. Mm-hmm. You guys offer an adapter. Which one is it?
Yes, we have the MC11 adapter. That's an adapter that goes from EF mount lenses to the Sony E mount. It works for both the full frame and the APS-C Sonys. And if you use any of our global vision lenses, which again are the contemporary, the art, or the sports, you actually get full compatibility. And what users are finding is that actually using that adapter with non-Sigma glass, let's say you're using a Canon lens or any kind of EF mount from any manufacturer, you're still getting better compatibility than you would with any of the other adapters on the market.
And one more thing I want to kind of ask you about the USB duct. A lot of people ask, what's the use of it? We're going to do our full review on it, but kind of a highlight. Why will that make Sigma a little bit different than others?
So the USB dock is something that you can attach to the back of any of our Global Vision lenses. Again, the art, contemporary, or sports. It's a little bit bigger than a lens cap, and it allows you to update firmware on the lenses. It allows you to make micro autofocus adjustments. One of the reasons why you would use the USB dock to do micro autofocus adjustments versus in camera is that in camera it's going to shift the entire lens one direction or the other. Using the USB dock, you're allowed to do distance adjustments at 4 different distances throughout the focal range. If it's a zoom lens, you can actually make those adjustments at 4 different focal lengths throughout the zoom. And then on our telephoto lenses, they have a switch on them, a little custom switch, and that actually has 3 settings. There's an off, a C1, and C2. And C1 and C2 are profiles that you can set up using the USB dock that allow you to do things such as speed up or slow down the autofocus. You can make your own custom focus limitation and adjust the sensitivity of the optical stabilizer.
Oh wow, so now you actually, the C1, C2, you usually see this on cameras. So now this technology is so advanced you can actually do it on your lens with Sigma.
Yes, yeah, all the telephoto lenses in our Global Vision series are customizable.
Wow, okay. So another thing here, a lot of people question, there's a few dollars difference between the 150-600 and the sports one.
Yeah.
I know we always create sales. There's a lot of great deals that we do on both of them. And I see here you have is that the aluminum?
Yes, yeah, that's the aluminum housing of the sport model. All of our sports lenses have full metal bodies. They're also 100% weather sealed. You can shoot with these in the rain for a prolonged period of time, and it's not going to affect the lens at all. The difference between the two 150-600s, there's the contemporary version, the sport version. Like I said, the construction and the weather resistance. There's also a little bit more glass in the sports. You actually have better performance in the edges and on the corners. But like you said, there's definitely a price difference. Right now we're running a special with our instant rebate where you get $100 off the contemporary, so that makes it $9.89. The sport lens is $200 off, so you can actually get it for $17.99, and then exclusive at Image One this weekend we're doing some deals in store that I can't mention.
You have to come to the store. Yes, we can. So, we saw the difference in the last couple of years with you, as you talked about your art lenses, and that word just stuck with a lot of people in the industry, from cinematographers to videographers. I mean, we've seen some high-end cinema cameras sold, and they're solely focusing on some of the 18-35 and some 24-70s. But I know you told us a little bit, what exactly is Sigma Vision in the next couple of years? I know this may be putting on a spot, but we want to let our customer, buying. We have some customers that not used to buy Sigma as higher grade than some lenses, right. And we want to get that message to them that Sigma actually has a vision, not just coming with few lenses now they're going to stop. We want to know, what is Sigma Vision in the next 2 or 3 years?
Well, they unfortunately don't share the roadmap with me of what they're going to make, but we do know that there are some more coming out because Sigma did commit to re-engineering the entire line, and we're about 3/4 of the way through our line of either re-engineering lenses that we had previously or discontinuing some that there wasn't such a demand for, and creating new ones that we've never done before. But we do still have some older lenses in our lineup, like our fisheyes, our macro lenses, our 70 to 200 2.8, as well as some of our longer telephoto lenses that are still older of designs that eventually will either be redone or something similar will come out and replace it.
The new 2470, I believe it's one. Then you guys have the 16 for the Micro Four Third. The 2470, we're finding out it's such a hard lens. It's sold out all the time. Yeah. Why do you think that is?
It was funny. There were people that were buying that lens before and ordering it before it even hit the streets, and there were reviews on it just because the reputation of the art lenses, has been such that they're the edge-to-edge sharpness, zero distortion, minimal chromatic aberration, minimal to no ghosting or flaring when it comes to when it comes to the elements, and also having extremely fast autofocus. But yes, once it hit the street and reviews came out on that lens, it's been a really hard one for stores to keep in stock.
Actually, and we have not mentioned, this is a very unique lens that I like a lot, the 24 to 35 2.8. I believe this is a 4 prime lenses in one.
Correct.
How can you guys make it under $1,000? What is the secret?
That's a really good question. It used to be, you got what you paid for. You paid a lot more money for certain manufacturer, but a lot of times, the quality was different. Sigma has a unique business model in that they only put about 20% of their budget into sales and marketing. Except for a few trade magazines, Sigma really doesn't spend a lot on marketing. So it's really the reputation of the glass within the photographic community that has really gotten us, most of our press. So, and also keeping everything in-house, Sigma manufactures everything in one location in Japan. We machine our own screws, we make our own aperture blades, the housings, the electronics, everything is done in one place. So not only can we keep production costs down and pass that savings on to the consumer, but we can also keep a very tight quality control all the way through the manufacturing process.
This here is another lens, I just noticed now I'm learning about the C1, C2 that you can program your lens. This is 100, look at this, a 100 to 400. Look at the size of this thing. Look how tiny it is. How did you guys manage? I know a lot of other manufacturers makes them a lot larger. I know that was a complaint that people like them to be smaller, and this is, and I see it has everything that the art lens has. Yeah. So what can you tell us about this new lens too?
Yeah, so this was to fill the need in the market for people that wanted something more than their typical 75 to 300 millimeter lens. They wanted a longer reach, but yet this was just, too big, too heavy for people to carry around. Yeah,
Yes.
But that's the thing, once you get, before this, if you to get beyond, a 300, most lenses are going to jump up to this point when you get to 400, 500, 600 millimeters. So being able to have something that's only in the telephoto range that is really, really high quality, but yet compact and light and weight enough that you can just hand hold it and carry it in your bag.
One thing I have to mention too here about the 8514, that we've been called the king of lenses. Why is that? I know it's amazing lens. You guys, if you see the opening on this thing, it's amazing. I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but it was crowned as the king of lenses. Why is that? And 85 is a very liked lens on all the professional photographers as their portrait, or even some of them walk around lens in a full frame cameras. But you guys did something different that everybody's in love with this lens.
Yes, you can see that Sigma wasn't shy when they put the glass in this. The front element, that's an 86 millimeter thread size. Nobody else has an 85 that's this big. But again, keeping with the reputation of the Art series, Sigma wanted to come out with a lens that's going to be as sharp as possible, wide open, edge to edge, and basically their philosophy is, if you can appreciate the quality of this lens, you're not going to care what the size and weight of it are. So they put as much glass in there that they needed to be able to accomplish the level of quality that they can. DP Review and DxO Mark actually gave this the highest rating that they've ever given any lens to date. So yes, this has actually been a very, very sought after lens, like you said, for portrait wedding photographers.
I know you guys have mastered the 3514 from Art, and that's a amazing lens that everybody looks into as their kind of base lens to start with. But another surprise that came out really amazing is your 12 to 24 with a very few distortion. What can you tell us about this, or almost none?
Yeah, the 12 to 24, even at the 12 millimeter, this thing has no distortion. You can see the size and the weight of it. Same thing. They put as much glass in there that they needed to be able to make it super sharp. Again, wide open, edge to edge, very little vignetting, and no distortion. It is a constant f4 aperture all the way through. I would say the only comment that I get from customers regarding the aperture is they wish it would be faster. Oh, what if you could make it a 2.8? Well, typically, people that are shooting ultra-wide lenses, 2.8 is not necessarily the aperture that most of them are shooting at. This is really going for architecture, interior design photographers, landscape photographers that are normally going to be stopping down to at least f8, f11 just to have everything in focus. So it wouldn't matter if it was 2.8 or f4. And honestly, with the contemporary the contemporary cameras that are out there now, most of them do such great performance at higher ISOs that one stop of an aperture is not really going to give you that big of an improvement.
So when the lens doesn't have the C1, C2, can you still plug into the dock and calibrate it, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So the customized feature really are for the telephoto lenses, because those features are something that you would typically want with a longer focal length. But with any of the other non-telephoto lenses that have the custom switch on it, you can update firmware and do the micro autofocus adjustment all the way through the lens.
I'm sure we all have a lot of questions. You can always come over here. There's some of the questions that I had that he answered for me today. I mean, he's here, so I can ask him more. He can be here, you can ask him. So stop by at Image One. We are at 9590 Magnolia Avenue. Our phone number is 951-977-8811. Thank you, Jared, again for coming over.
Thank you, Shadi.
We do carry the full line of Sigma, as you see, and we have their filters. We've been very successful and happy with the quality that their filters been providing and their lenses. It's been one of our top sellers here. Thank you again. Come see us. Come at Image One, and thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.